Hi Power Queens, I just shot season 1, episode 1 of Power Queens Talk Show right here at the luxurious, the Cornelian at the Rock at the Design Quarter. I interviewed an amazing young lady named Sibulele Sibaca. Please follow her on Instagram, but most importantly, watch this amazing interview. Enjoy. Well, good morning, Power Queens. I'm absolutely excited to have Sibu sitting right next to me here. My first guest on Power Queens, first episode, first season. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me and thinking that I'd be a good debut.
Of course.
For your show.
I mean, like I said,
yeah.
I've been a fan of yours for quite some time now.
So much.
So when you said I'll absolutely, be interviewed by you, I was really, really excited.
Thank you so much.
So Sibu, can you just share a couple of, things that you've been through in life that, you could maybe give advice to young people who are trying to enter entrepreneurship?
Okay, so, for me, I always say that I didn't get into entrepreneurship because I chose it. I didn't choose entrepreneurship. I started doing something to put food on the table, and it was called entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
My brother and I grew up under very tough circumstances. We lost our parents. We were very, very young, and we pretty much had to start looking, after ourselves. He's older than me, so he always had this protective streak about him. But when I passed matric, he was like, "Girl, it's time for you to help put food on the table."
Yeah.
And so the option for me of going to varsity or technicon was just not there. And so the first thing I needed to do was just find a job. And I was just so lucky that I came across Love Life, and it completely transformed my life. And so while at Love Life, I had an amazing opportunity and an amazing time to tap into talents that I didn't even know I had.
Yes.
So for example, Love Life taught me how to be on stage and how
Right.
to speak and
Right.
how to exercise catching people's attention
Yes.
with what you're saying,
Yes.
how to tell my story,
Yes.
because I had a very relevant story at the time, being
Yes.
an AIDS orphan.
Yes.
And so it was an incredible time. I was coming of age, I was in my late teens, early 20s.
Yes.
It was really a great time until, of course, I got headhunted by Richard Branson, and in that case, I flew
Yeah.
at that point. And of course, Richard is the king of
Yes.
entrepreneurship,
Yes.
and so it was almost impossible for
Yes.
me not to kind of follow in those footsteps after working for him for 4 years. I was like, it was nice.
That's amazing.
I want to make the same kind of money you make. How do I make this happen?
Yes.
So it's been an incredible time. He still mentors me. I've got a couple of businesses, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think what people misunderstand about entrepreneurship is that first of all, I don't think anybody's born for entrepreneurship. It's something that you decide and you commit to.
Yeah.
The ones who do better at entrepreneurship are the ones who decided and
They'll do
committed to doing it. It is hard. It is not glamorous. People often think, oh, if only I was an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Honey, I have to wake up at 5.
Yes.
Because I need to make sure that the document that needs to be submitted is submitted on time. I could be home, fair enough. But you work twice as hard for half of the money for zero recognition.
Absolutely.
And so people need to be just realistic about entrepreneurship. Does it allow you a little bit more freedom and flexibility? Sure,
Yeah.
it does. But we throw around these hashtags, boss babe,
Yes.
boss chic.
Yes. And we
And
don't really know what they mean and what you need to do to become a boss babe.
then you have people that work for you that you have to manage.
Yes.
You're managing different personalities. Mind
Yes.
you are a personality on
Yourself.
your own. You sometimes you feel like you need to be managed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then you've got all these people whose livelihoods depend on you. I don't know any greater responsibility
Yeah.
than knowing that if you don't do what you need to do, these 10 people are not going to eat.
Yeah.
When you are working for corporate, you are worrying about yourself. When you are are a businesswoman, you are worrying about, especially if you care.
Yeah.
Then you know that one of them have a child, they have just given birth, omunye umntana grade 1. You're now having to understand and manage every single person's dynamic
Yes.
and try and get the work done. Try and maintain a healthy working environment.
Yes.
It's tough.
It is tough.
And you don't know it all. You don't know it all, which is why people employ HR managers.
Yes.
So that you know what, your job
Is that.
That's why you have an accountant, or a finance person. So it's not, and you know what, I don't care how many courses you go on. I don't care how expensive your MBA was.
It doesn't prepare you for entrepreneurship. 100%.
Does it help? Of course.
Yes.
Strategy, how to
Yes.
innovate when times are
Yes.
changing. Got to do this and that. Of course, that helps
Yeah.
you. But every single day, the application of running the business.
And what would you say defines a great entrepreneur, number one? And secondly, do you think that women still experience a lot of red tape when it comes to being recognized as great entrepreneurs or great businesswomen, or even in the corporate environment? Do you think that they're still excluded from receiving the recognition that they need as female entrepreneurs? Do you experience that?
All the time. So I even have like a slide trick. I have to talk to a prospective client over the phone first. I've got a very deep, commanding voice.
Yeah.
so if I speak to you over the phone, I lock you over the phone. The very first comment I get from a prospective client when I see them is it you? Because they cannot connect my voice to my frame.
Yes.
And for the longest time, I'd have comments like, who brought their little girl child to work today? So I've always had to dress up, to look double my age at least. I don't look my age.
I can relate myself.
Hello. So it's a really tough thing, from just the way you are built to the way that you look. You want to put makeup on and look presentable, but sometimes that puts you in an even more difficult position because somebody might want to take advantage of that around the table. It's really, really tough. However, I do think times are changing. So in defense of the structure as it stands right now, the societal structure, times are changing. Women are knocking down doors, and there are men who are giving women an ear. In fact, what is happening in corporate is that it's women who are giving other women a tough time.
Definitely.
So the men have kind of gone, okay, there are valuable lessons to learn from my fellow female colleague. Let's start engaging.
Yes.
And they've realized that if we work together, we can do so much more. It is usually my fellow black sister who has arrived at this place, unwilling to pull others as
And
she
it's
goes up.
like you say, it's normally the black woman or African woman who are already in a position of power. I don't understand what it is that makes it so
Competition,
difficult.
jealousy, because here's the reality, Thandi, there's always somebody better than you.
Yes, and there'll always be.
Always. And so the millennials, fresh, new energy, excited, innovative.
Yes.
It's scary
Yeah.
for any sister who is in power currently. It's scary. However, I think what we haven't learned yet is how do we use that energy and that innovation to our advantage and work together. I think it's a big, serious pull her down syndrome.
Definitely.
But I think there's a lot that we can achieve really if we start working together. So you asked about what makes a good entrepreneur. And for me, it's the never give up.
The determination.
Whatever happens, entrepreneurs who've made it are the ones who said, oh, you don't want shop next?
Yes.
It's not necessarily how smart you are. You can employ someone smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's when this door has closed, you push open
Yes,
another one.
yes.
When this door is closed, you open the window.
Yes.
It's that for me is the number one character of an entrepreneur. And two, what I think makes entrepreneurs special are those who are solving a problem. A societal problem, a social problem, and you make money out of it. So I have kind of moved into the social entrepreneurship space, but and making money from it. Absolutely nothing wrong. I think with that one, your business is more conscious.
Yes.
When somebody buys your product, they know that they are buying a lot more than just
Yes.
the product.
Yes.
They are supporting families. They're changing entire community.
There's a bigger value
There's a
behind
bigger
it.
value behind it, and it's showing now in recent studies that people will buy into that.
And people usually buy into emotion as well. If there's a disconnect between the consumer and the seller, it's not a win-win situation for either or.
So definitely what will make an entrepreneur win in today's time is to connect your product or your existence to something real. Solve a problem. Solve an issue that South Africans are dealing with. And because South African problems are generally African problems, boom, you have an open-ended market to the rest of the continent. So it's really about saying, okay, here's the current problem. How do I solve it, and how do I make money from it? So
Yes.
simple as that.
And this now brings me to the actual topic for today, which is, work for it, don't slave for it. What is your take on slaying, and what is your understanding of slaying and slay queens?
Oh, Thandi.
Because I'm seeing a lot of it, and to be honest, I don't quite understand the phenomenon behind it. I'm seeing a lot of this happening, quite sadly, amongst our African sisters. And it just saddens me that people are actually buying into this whole thing. And I think the problem with, the root of the problem with it is instant gratification. People wanting things now. I want to be rich now. I want money now. I want fame now. I want power now. I want to be acknowledged now. But then I feel like there's a psychological imbalance with someone who chooses to go that route, because you're basically selling your soul to gain monetary value and to gain material things and to gain acknowledgement and appreciation from men who don't even really know you or love you.
So
I'm just failing to understand the concept.
I'm in two minds about it. The one mind is, look, to each his own, man.
Yes.
Like, do you, boo? I mean, if this is the life you have chosen for yourself, like, sharp, do you? There are others who have entered the slave queendom for survival purposes.
It's
There are
pretty
those-
poverty.
There are those who are putting themselves through school for it. They are putting food on the table. And so my biggest thing is not to judge in
Yes.
that case. And so I work with a lot of adolescent girls and young women. That's what I do in the foundation. And I just always offer them the alternative. And I don't talk about an alternative I haven't gone through.
Yeah.
This is a decision I had to make when I was 16 years old and alone, no parents, just my older brother. So I don't talk from a point of, so you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to go to bed with no food. Whoa,
Yes.
I do actually.
Yes.
And I can proudly say I am where I am today. I have never had to sleep with anybody for anything.
Which is why I thought you were the perfect person for this topic, because
Right.
I hear a lot of women saying, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I can't go to bed hungry.
Right.
I need to survive. I need to take care of my family. And I'm
Right.
thinking, is there not another way? Is there an alternative? Or maybe are they just not seeing, or they're not being exposed to the other alternative?
Right.
Which is why I command what you're doing, because you are actually providing that alternative, and you're
Right.
exposing yourself in that environment and teaching young women that, you know what, there is an alternative.
Right.
And that's not often seen.
No. So look, first of all, I'll be very honest. The fact that I had an older brother, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I remember, I love telling the story about my brother. He had just picked me up from school get taxi, obviously. So he had come with taxi. He had a meeting at school with my principal about my results and whatever. And he's only a couple of years older than me, but he was very responsible when our parents died. And so we are getting out of the school, and a beautiful sports car drives past. We're in Cape Town. It's a white middle-aged man driving the car. I say to my brother, "Yeah, that's my dream car, And he's like, "Oh, that's nice." And I quickly say, but people like you and me will never get to drive that car. My brother took me by the shoulders, shook me, and said, "You'll never say that again. Your job is to dream, and to dream in color. My job is to ensure that I enable an environment for your dreams to come true." Needless to say, fast forward 10 years later, I bought that car. And I remember flying my brother up to come collect the car and drive it out of the shop for me, just as a symbol of, you said I could do it, and here I'm doing it. Right. So, and in those 10 years, I've never had to sleep with anybody. I've never had to do something I didn't want to do that made me feel less of myself the following day. It is tough though, Thandi. You are really choosing between poverty and someone giving you immediate relief. Have I dated people with money? Yes. So I've dated people with money who have come in handy, but those are relationships that I wanted to be in, that gave me some emotional satisfaction. And when those relationships weren't working for me anymore, I left, because the reason for me entering those relationships were not for money. And as soon as the relationship wasn't working for me emotionally, I would leave. I've got to say how not easy it is. It's extremely difficult. And the sooner we understand that it is going to be difficult. There are days where I'm going to go to bed with just a rooibos and a slice of bread.
Yeah.
But I think what's most important here is if you can see where you're going. The problem with slave queening or not valuing yourself is when you have not drawn a picture for yourself
of where you want
to be. And so part of the work I did at Love Life, they were very clear about being goal-driven, objective-driven. When you said to Love Life you wanted to have a car one day, they said, what inch wheels does it have? Get a 16-inch, get an 18-inch. You've got to be specific.
Yeah.
So that you can almost see this car, you can see this house, you can see this life you want to have. And because I saw all of those things, it was so clear to me. You will refuse anything in your path that deters you from that goal. But you've got to see it. That's one. Two, I had a lot of angels holding my hand. A lot. So I was really fortunate. I had amazing people in my life at the time who saw amazing things in me that I didn't even see in myself. Recently I bumped into a guy who, his name is Vusi. Vusi managed the Love Life Games stage. It was one of the biggest sporting events in South Africa for school sports. And he was a stage manager, 10,000 screaming kids at this event at any given time. And what Vusi says to me, it was in Durban, I was just a groundbreaker. He looks at me and he goes, my female presenter hasn't showed up. You do it. Stage. I was like, what? Mike, that time Zola 7 is on stage holding out his hand on some.
It's time.
It's time now. Both of them didn't give me a chance to say no. But Vusi saw something in me that day that I didn't even know I had. But Vusi that day started a big part of my career today. I didn't have to sleep with him. I didn't have to sleep with Zola. Zola was amazing with me on stage. He took me under his wing. He would say just the right things to prep me to say what I needed to say. Those two men in that moment built half my empire. they helped me recognize strengths and talents that I have that I didn't even know I had. And so I had amazing people in my life at the time, and that's why I do the work that I do through the foundation, because it's really time for me to give back.
Yes.
And so so the slaying thing, I read a meme the other day that says, "Don't worry, ordinary, hardworking girls, you're going to be in fashion again. Ordinary looking, hardworking girls, you're going to be in fashion again." And perhaps that's true. And perhaps slaying has always been there, Thandi. Perhaps it's not a new phenomenon. We've just, we've just turned it up a bit.
Yeah.
I think like anything, nothing is new.
Yeah.
In the world. I think things are just repeating themselves, and as they repeat themselves, we just turn it up a bit.
Yes.
And I think with slaying it's the same thing. I think Udala, a long time ago, there were those young women who really banked on their looks, got very far on their looks, knew how to work a room, work a man.
Yes.
It was, my aunt told me the other day when I was like, can't I just get a guy who just gives me money? But I've dated wealthy guys, but for them to give me money,
it's a problem.
never happens to me, My aunt's like, Denham, don't have the blood for it.
Yeah.
The blood.
You do, honestly. I feel like that character sort of, in a way, built in
it's something
someone,
that you have.
Which,
I can never tell you why a woman will date this guy, break up with this guy, and all of them will give her money.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing. I can't tell you. I don't know. Some conspiracy theory. I don't know. But one woman who dates 3 different guys in a year, they will all give her money. I'll date one of those guys
and get nothing.
So I don't know. But I think, first of all, I don't want to judge anyone.
Yeah, we can't judge.
When it comes to slaying, do you? These things have levels. All I'll say, be safe. I think don't compromise yourself so much to a point where it risks where you can go in the future. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Do what you need to do. There are stories we hear about the Dubai girls.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Do the things that you want to do in Dubai as long as it doesn't affect your future self.
And to be honest with you, I'm going to be very honest. I feel like they should do them. And if it works for you, it works for you.
Right.
But it becomes a problem for me when you're now recruiting young girls that you met with ambitions, that had
and you took advantage
what I mean?
of their situation.
Yes, you took advantage of their
Yeah.
situation,
Right.
and this young girl wants to, do well in school. She's an innocent young girl. She probably has never ever been with a guy. She like you're saying, she has goals. She knows where
Right.
she wants to go in life, and then
And she
all
gets
of a
to
sudden,
Joburg.
Exactly.
And she's pretty little
That's where
thing.
it bothers me. That bothers me. If you want to pursue it, that's
do
fine.
it.
But
Yeah.
for me, it bothers me when it becomes a situation where you are now wanting to recruit others to be in this sort of lifestyle.
So it's weird. I got a call from a friend of mine saying, "Can you please speak to this young lady? She saw you on Facebook. She's inspired by you and your post and what you do and what you're about." And so I said, "Okay, sure, no problem." So I called her, and it's exactly what you're talking about. She was at an intersection in her life. There was a guy waiting for her the following day to take her to Mauritius. She had been briefed and prepped on what is expected of her when she gets to Mauritius. And she kept saying to me, "Sisibu, I have no problem doing what I've been briefed to do.
Wow.
No problem. Because I do it here for free.
Wow.
I do it here because I'm at a club and I like this guy and, and I've seen the picture of this guy I'm going with. He's cute. I like him." You know what I say to her? If you see absolutely nothing wrong, the fact that you had communicated with someone about this tells me there's a problem.
Yes.
Or else you would have gone on that plane and you would have left.
You would have made your own decision and just...
And moved along with it. Now, if you see absolutely nothing wrong with it, then go. I'm not going to stand here and say to a 23-year-old, don't go.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yes.
You're going to do what you want to do anyway.
Yes.
You know. But for me, the fact that you reached out to somebody, you are wondering.
Is this the right decision?
You are wondering. For me, it's as though young people have a black wall in front of them, and they don't see beyond this black wall. And my desire and dream is just to create a window in the black wall, so they're just able to see on the other side. Because right now, their lives is doom and gloom. There's no money. Parents are struggling. No job. They're eating tinned fish adversity. By the way, the greatest of entrepreneurs, the greatest of employees today will tell you stories about how they ate beans.
Yeah.
Adversity. I don't know what these children are made of these days. I think they're made of paper or something. But people lived on that stuff for 4 years, 5 years while they were adversity.
Yes.
But it's something that these kids today can't live on.
Yes.
It's an embarrassment. You don't fit into society. People feel child.
Yes.
You know?
It's a problem.
And we grew up on bilchards. And I'm like, geez,
What is
have
the
you ever
problem?
had bilchard? Net rice. For these kids, you're talking about pilchard, I'm sorry. Like, no. So I think there is definitely an issue. And let me tell you, adolescent girls and young women know what's right and wrong.
They do. They do.
It's just a matter of being conscious when they are doing it.
Yes.
And I always say to them, when you choose to do something, choose to do it and do it well.
Yes.
If you're gonna slay, be the best at it. Like, don't slay Nyana.
Yes.
Because then what's the point?
Yeah.
You know. But if you're gonna choose your life to be an entrepreneur or to go to work and or go to school, do that well.
Yes.
You know, don't do things mediocre.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, I mean that's my take on the whole slaying thing. I think people should really just look at the longevity of. The other problem with that thing is that there's no longevity. There's always someone hotter, more yellow
You get
gold,
old.
more
Yes.
than you.
Yes.
So if you are really banking on that, you're going to be in trouble.
It's not a long term.
It's not a long-term thing.
Definitely not.
And so, secretly, I'm rooting for those who are taking themselves through school
Yes.
while they are slaying.
Yes. Know why you're
They've
doing
got a plan.
It.
They've got a plan. It's not for a Gucci bag.
Yes.
It's not for the longest
Yes.
inches,
Yes.
baby,
Yes.
of a wig or a weave. They are clear
Yes.
that this guy, even if this guy is paying for accommodation, paying for a car, they are clear. They are in this situation because they are benefiting
Definitely.
going to school
Yes.
and bettering themselves. So
Yes.
that one day, 4 years from now, they're able to decide, Conchi, do I like you? If I don't like you, cheers, peace, was nice knowing you.
Yes.
If I do like you, I continue being with you. No
Yes.
problem. Now it's a choice.
Yes.
But I mean, so that's like a secret thing of mine.
Yes.
It's not so secret anymore now. But I mean, I'm like, if you're gonna do it, let there be a purpose behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to wrap things up, what is your definition of a power queen?
My definition of a power queen is somebody who knows who she is, who recognizes that every day God has put a crown on her head that nobody can remove. I don't care what situation you could be going through, what circumstance you could be going through. A power queen remains a power queen even in the dirt, even on the floor. And even in the worst of situations. A power queen is somebody who encourages others and inspires others around her. A power queen has got a pull her up syndrome. A power queen creates space for all of us to thrive.
Yes.
Because the stage is big enough
Yes.
for all of us. A power queen is strong, she's independent, but also soft and caring. A power queen just knows that the world is her oyster, and whatever it is that she wants to achieve in her life, it's absolutely possible with a lot of hard work, determination, perseverance, and persistence. And for me, in my case, my definition of a power queen is also knowing where to draw strength from, and I draw strength from God. He's been absolutely amazing in my life, just in terms of protecting me and guiding me and blessing me. And so a power queen recognizes that and shares that energy. So yeah, I think that's what a power queen is. She's a power queen is a lot of things, but
Yes.
she's a power queen because she can do all those things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. It was an absolute honor to have you on the show. And Power Queens, will see you next episode. Follow us on Instagram and on our YouTube page. And I want to just give you an amazing thank you gift.
Yeah.
Proudly sponsored by Four Cousins, just for being on the show.
Well, I don't
today.
drink.
Don't you drink?
So all my drinking friends, come home, honey.
Maybe we can send one that's non-alcoholic.
Is the one that's
I
non-alcoholic?
think we do have some that are
non-alcoholic?
but I'll
Oh,
create
please
another
get
handful
me
for
one
you.
that's non-alcoholic, but do get one that is. I've got drinking friends.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.